Hi guys. So I had a request from a lovely lady to do a video on balance. It took me a little while to figure out how to do this video because I in fact lack balance in my life. So I had to do a bit of research myself. So I've got some notes here that I've been kind of writing down from different things that I've read and watched, and I've been trying to take it on board myself as well. And I guess when you ask yourself what balance means to you, what comes up for you? You know, what vision of somebody who's balanced? What does that look like? You know, is it someone who has this awesome, successful job and they also come home and they spend the weekend with their kids? Is it someone who spends an hour with their kids? Is it someone who socializes but still goes to work when they're hungover? You know, what do you think balance looks like? Everybody obviously has a different background, so it's going to come up in different ways. So I think that that's really important to get an idea in your mind what it looks like to start with. And secondly, I think that it's very important to be specific on what you want for your life. So when you're getting an idea on what's balanced, for your life and what's not balanced, have a look at what makes you feel kind of drained and uncomfortable. What is it? Could you place boundaries around that? Could you communicate with that person or job or thing? Look, I have 45 minutes, for this meeting, or I have 45 minutes to go out for coffee with you and have a chat about how you're going and all of that stuff. But then I have to go and I have to do this other thing. So you're actually not, being rude or any form of kind of what we might feel guilty about, those types of things. We say, oh, we're not a good person, we were rude, we weren't a good friend, whatever it is that we can come up with to beat ourselves up for not giving everything to other people, especially those who ask for it. Some on a regular basis, some not. But it's important to look at different people's requests as progress. What progresses you? So let's just say you are someone who is quite motivated by helping others. So it is progressive for you because you get to learn, you get to support other people, you get to give back to the community. That's all amazing stuff. I mean, I love doing the same thing. But how do you feel at the end of the day? Do you feel like you have time for the little people that might be growing up around you but not actually spending all that much time with you? Do you feel like maybe if your children were living the life that you were or you are right now, you would be happy for them? Put it into perspective. Like, do you think that your giving is too much? Do you think that it's draining you? Do you think people are taking advantage? So is there balance in that area? Is there balance in your social life? Is there balance in your work life? Are you getting caught up on distractions? A lot of what I read was bleed time. Bleed time is something that comes about from distractions. So for me, I am like the worst person when it comes to planning my day. I look at my day and I go, that looks really hard. I don't want to do it. So I plan easy. I always plan easy. I go, I'm going to do this easy thing and this easy thing. Oh, what's that over there? I'm one of those people that's like that dog in the movie, squirrel. I just get caught up on some little thing or a request from someone who might need something, and I don't want to keep them waiting. I don't want people to feel like they can't rely on me, because at one point I wasn't that support person. I wasn't the person that people could go to and turn to for advice, and I want to be that now. And that's not to say that we can't be that person. That's to say we need to be mindful of getting the hard things done first. Like, plan your day. Prioritize hard. Prioritize the things that are going to change your life, that are going to promote your life, that are going to matter to you. Like, if you get the dishes done and you go for a walk and then you play games all day, are you going to feel like you're promoting anything? Is exercise that important to you that you're going to feel like that actually did promote your life? Or would you say, okay, well, I need to do my taxes. I should probably do them first. Get up, have a coffee, have a nice breakfast, do your taxes, and then I might go for a walk, or I might take an hour out. I might wind down, I might play some games, and then I might go for a walk this afternoon. And tonight, before I have dinner, I might do the dishes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're prioritizing what matters. If you don't get those dishes done, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. You can do them tomorrow. And maybe if you haven't done them all week, maybe do them. Yeah, it's important. but I guess look at what you're prioritizing, because I've had to look at the same thing, and I thought to myself, how do I even know what bleed time is for my life? How do I even know what's really distracting me? And then I thought about it. Map out your day. So I've started being really mindful. Being aware of what you're doing is super important. It's like when people change their lifestyle and they go on a diet, or they go into recovery, or they start a new job. They're learning everything, so they're quite aware. They're picking up everything. It's a fresh start. Do that with your day. Open your eyes in the morning and go, even if you're not changing anything, be mindful of what you're doing, how much time it's taking, and how you feel after it. Because I feel as though when you're kind of just slipping in your balance, you've got your seesaw, it's level, and you're just tipping a little bit, you're not mindful of it. You're kind of going, oh, I'm just a little bit stressed today. That's fine. After your seesaw has completely catapulted, it's destroyed, there's still some, balance underneath here that's kind of needs repairing. That's when we're more likely to go, I'm feeling really overwhelmed. I feel so out of balance. I feel like I need to just climb out of this hole. How did I get here? And that is what tends to happen in our lives. We notice when things have gone too far, when all we had to do is put some tools in place before then to actually kind of steady our seesaw out, because we've just got tools. We place them underneath to balance. Being balanced means being able to deal with a stressful situation by using logic and by moving on. I'll give you an example. I mean, I personally, I'm probably quite hard on myself. Maybe I'm biased, but I don't think I'm overly balanced. I do try. I had a bit of an episode yesterday. There was a personal situation, and I didn't really expect it to come up. Something to do with family, and I had my first anxiety attack in a year, and I really was quite thinking, oh, okay, what can I do? I started freaking out, I started kind of thinking, oh my gosh, I can't get through this. I started snapping at the people I love, and then I realized I have these tools. I do have these tools. I've learnt these things. I am not the person I was a year ago. Clearly, that's why I haven't had any anxiety attacks. So what I did is I did a grounding exercise. You guys know a grounding exercise means place your skin on something physical. So either smash your feet into the ground while you're walking, place your palms together and do a breathing exercise at the same time. Place your back up against a wall. It's a physical thing. It grounds us. It makes our brain go, oh, we're actually safe. That's a safe thing. And so I did a breathing exercise. I did a visualization exercise as well, where I placed my problems in the form of people's faces on a leaf, on a river, and I watched them float over the waterfall, and they were like, oh, and I thought, bye. And they still didn't go away, and I was on hyper alert for the rest of the day, pretty much. Even today, I've been quite snappy and highly stressed. I couldn't sleep last night, but I feel like it was a real success. I mean, at the time I was quite like angry, and I was feeling like, oh gosh, you know, we can go down two roads when we approach this stress. We can say, oh, you know, this is always happening to me, or how can I get out of this drama, you know, why does it find me, you know, just all of those kinds of things that we think when we're in victim mindset. So I started to try and think about solutions, about tools I could use, about a way to not make it okay, because the situation doesn't, I'm not in control of it, but make me okay in this stressful situation and the people that I love. Because when something terrible comes about from someone who maybe wants to harm you, whichever it is, you're letting them win by losing control, and by, you know, lashing out at your loved ones, by not functioning. So I chose to function, you know, and that is a huge thing for me. And I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I wanted you guys to know that I am not perfect. I don't come on here every week to tell you what to do with your life, because I'm living mine to perfection. I just want to tell you guys that we all have problems, we all struggle, but there are things that we can do to manage that so that it's a little bit easier. That's all we want, just an easier life than before. That's not to say don't do the hard things, okay? So I'm just going to have a look at my list that I wrote down. I talked about finding out where the vacuum is. So that's what I was talking about, what's draining you. Say no so that you can have some sanity. This I found very interesting. It talked about every yes you make are hours. So think of the yeses that you make as the hours of your life and think if that's worth the exchange. So, okay, here we go. I've got another 2 pages of stuff. I was just pounding information because I loved the subject personally. I think it's a really exciting subject. Here we go. So meditation, sleep, and diet obviously promote positive health and stuff like that, but it also talked about a promotion of 30% in your cognitive ability with those things in your life to relieve stress and have more balance and control over your life. So I just thought that's really amazing stuff. Like, that is a statistic that is quite high. I mean, I could totally do with 30% more functioning ability, yeah. So anyway, and then it talked about what is your day's agenda, and what are your priorities, and are you living in the way where you feel fulfilled, like you feel like you're actually completing some of that or most of that agenda. What I discussed before was the prioritizing. I'll read you guys out the steps that I've written down. I wrote some more information down as well, but I don't think we'll have time to go into that today. So 1, stop prioritizing easy. So make significant steps in your life today and prioritize progress or meaning. So if you prioritize easy, you're less likely to do the things that count. So busy work, but no life work. Nothing that makes you feel accomplished or supported is easy things. Okay, and do you feel like there's structure and framework in your life? Create some. Do something that matters or that's hard every day. Stop prioritizing false emergencies. So people call you up and they say, I need it this minute. When in actual fact, a lot of times people can fix it themselves. Yesterday, I phoned up someone to talk to them when I had, this problem. I found someone else to call, and it's not like I don't deserve to be supported, and I'm not saying that we don't deserve to be supported, but the other person that you're contacting may have something on. We cannot always rely on one strategy to get our needs met. Sometimes we need to have a bunch of strategies because our needs are important. They are important, and we need to get them met. We deserve that. We totally do. So I want you guys to remember that. Use a few strategies. Think of a few things, a few ways that you can get your needs met, because I want that for you. I want that for me. Okay, so make it progress your life. The helping people, the false emergencies. If it progresses your life, then that's fine. A request is actually a sudden distraction. So we talked about distractions before. And if you don't have time, say no. Focus on your real obligations and responsibilities. Because sometimes we can say yes, and we're actually not focusing on what we might have initially been wanting to do. Start prioritizing freedom, health, gain more emotional, physical, financial, and time freedom. So where is your you time? Book appointments if you have to. If you feel like you have a lot of people asking things for you, say, okay, once a week, I'm going to take myself out for a walk, or for a hair appointment, or for a nail appointment, or for a gym buddy session, or football, or whatever it is. And just say, I have an appointment at that time. You don't need to explain to people what you're doing. Because if you say, I have to go to the hairdresser, they'll say, just reschedule. Just say, I have an appointment. Like, people don't see your self-care as important as you do. So you need to remember that your self-care is super important. It's super important. Other people are totally important too. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, to get more balance, we need to respect ourselves and show ourselves some appreciation. So it talks about feeling fatigued and overwhelmed when we're not developing ourselves as a human being. And what are we doing with our breaks? Our break, we always have breaks. There are some breaks in the day, or in the afternoon, or in the evening, whatever it is. What are we filling our time with? So I'm going to end this on a really cute quote that I read. You are an architect of your day. Live fully, love openly, and make a difference today. All right, I love you guys. I tried to fill you guys with as much information as I could remember from all of the stuff that I have read and watched over the last week and a half or so. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Okay, bye.